Crypto gang, I'm gonna do a couple stories from my phone, and the first story is the Bitcoin halving. So look, we are like literally a month away from the Bitcoin halving. Some know that typically the Bitcoin halving is the official start date of the bull run. So the fact that we've been having all these all-time highs before the halving, that in itself indicates that we're probably going to have a bull run like we've never seen. Keep in mind, last bull run, the all-time high didn't come until 7 months after the halving. We've had like 3 or 4 at this point before the halving. Also keep in mind that it was during a worldwide global pandemic and economic, challenges. Also keep in mind that we also had the SEC in the middle of a lawsuit against the third biggest crypto company at the time, in which the implications from that trial or lawsuit would have affected 99.9, virtually all cryptocurrencies outside of Bitcoin and possibly Ethereum. So all those things kind of kept the market from going really where it could have went, because a lot of people were thinking it should have went to 100,000. So now we have a situation where the Bitcoin halving, meaning the supply is going to be cut in half. The output of Bitcoin is going to be cut in half in 1 month. I don't know if people really understand exactly what that means. The amount of Bitcoin being produced will be cut in half. Supply and demand dictates that even if the supply the demand remains the same, supply being cut in half means that the price has to adjust to accommodate that, meaning that this is why I say $150,000 Bitcoin is very conservative. But let's check this out. The Bitcoin halving is different. This Bitcoin halving is different. So the Bitcoin halving in April 2024 is expected to trigger a parabolic bull run due to the unique supply and demand dynamics. Institutional adoption and the success of Bitcoin ETFs has dramatically increased demand, indicating a supply squeeze. Yes, we have less supply. I mean, we already have less supply because a lot of these ETF issuers, the Michael Saylors, some of the private companies that don't have to report it publicly, already just one of those companies is buying more Bitcoin than is produced in a day. So long-term and short-term holders' confidence in Bitcoin further tightens supply, setting the stage for price growth. So think about it like this. All of the ETFs now that Bitcoin is easily accessible, at least exposure to it is easily accessible on Wall Street. So as the general public, retailers, and even companies, as the price goes up and the FOMO kicks in, and because remember, these ETF issuers are also promoting. They have commercials urging people. They're doing different marketing strategies to get people to buy their product. This is why I said, pretty soon we will see Bitcoin on the mainstream once the financial institutions, the governments, the big corporations, financial investment vehicles, etc. Once they have products and services, Bitcoin related, blockchain related, then you'll see it more in the mainstream. You'll see less FUD, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So as demand grows, those issuers like BlackRock, they're going to have to buy more Bitcoin to accommodate the new inflow of demand. Not to mention just more general public, are starting to gravitate towards this market, as they always do when we see what's going on in a bull cycle. And those of us who already hold are going to, we're still buying we're still stacking sats. So all these different things, plus now we have a whole country and other countries that's making Bitcoin legal tender and or mining. Remember, I reported on Russia making a deal with Ethiopia. They built a 150,000 square foot mining facility earlier this year. So as the cryptocurrency market edges closer to the anticipated Bitcoin halving on April 25th-ish, 2024, supply and demand dynamics set the stage for a parabolic bull run. Unlike previous cycles, this year signals a departure fueled by fueling institution adoption and expanding use cases, painting a bullish picture for Bitcoin. Now, I'm speaking about Bitcoin, but in reality, we know as Bitcoin goes, the rest of the market goes. Bitcoin typically will pull Ethereum up. Ethereum will typically pull all of the other altcoins up. Ethereum just finished another upgrade. Now there's people that are pushing for Ethereum ETFs. So that means all these little meme coins, these DePIN projects, these AI, these gaming coins, a lot of these other just altcoins that have actual use cases that are being adopted by different companies and actually disrupting industries. Yeah, we're going to see more and more of that. That means that we're going to have a bull run like we've never seen. That's what I'm anticipating. The approval of success of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds have marked a historic milestone in the crypto's journey. Since their inception, Bitcoin has witnessed a substantial 60% price growth with trading volume reaching unprecedented heights. All of this before the halving. Usually we don't get the all-time high until after the halving. We've hit it like 3 or 4 times before the halving. We still have a month left. Typically, the previous all-time high to the next all-time high is somewhere between 3.5 times to 6 times. So typically, the last all-time high was 20,000. So then after that, it was 69,000. Now, so far, we've had an all-time high of 73,000. So with that metric is about $250,000 Bitcoin, which I would say is definitely a probability more than a possibility. I'm still just saying 150 just to be conservative because I don't like to sell dreams. But realistically, yeah, we'll probably see a closer to $250,000 Bitcoin minimum is what I'm thinking by the end of by the third or fourth quarter of 2025, because usually the bull cycle lasts for about a year. So the influx of institutional interest in Bitcoin ETFs has attracted over $30 billion in assets under management in 2 months. This surge, don't forget, Bitcoin by market cap is actually higher than silver. Bitcoin market cap is higher than silver. Silver has been a medium of exchange, a store of value for millennium. Bitcoin comes and overtakes that market cap in under 15 years. This surge is demand is also reflected by a record-breaking 1 billion of inflows in a single day. Meanwhile, net flows exceed 10 billion and daily inflow triple the daily minted supply. The scenario is poised to intensify post-halving, with ETFs holding over 467,000 Bitcoin, excluding Grayscale, significantly outstripping Bitcoin's annualized supply of 164,000 BTC. This existing appetite for BTC has already taken up about 4.5% of the accessible supply. So we've seen a few companies buy 5% nearly of Bitcoin's total supply in a matter of a couple months. See, this is why I say, when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm stacking Bitcoin for generations. I might borrow against it. Yes, I'm going to hedge these altcoins and take profits off of that. However, I don't plan on selling the Bitcoin because I understand as time goes on, I would say at least for the next decade or so, as the supply continues to get squeezed to the top, those of us who actually hold Bitcoin are going to have a lot of leverage in our wealth than people who don't own Bitcoin or never even had exposure to Bitcoin, right? So with registered investment advisors overseeing about $114 trillion in the U.S., mandated to wait 90 days post new product launches before investing a mere 1% allocation to Bitcoin could trigger substantial flows, nearly doubling its current market cap and resulting in a supply squeeze in the process. So what they're saying is that a lot of these companies that have a collective $100 trillion, they have to wait 90 days. So they haven't been able to get into, as of yet, the Bitcoin ETF to be able to allocate just 1%. They're saying that once that 90-day expires, which will be somewhere around the halving, they're saying that alone could bring in enough revenue to at least double the price So if the price is doubling from where it's at now, plus the demand is being cut, or the supply is being cut in half, this is why people are saying $250,000. That's where we're at with that. So, I don't want to get into that. But meanwhile, let me show you this. And then we got Skybridge, right? Anthony Scaramucci. They're saying, act like you're dead with your Bitcoin. Don't sell. And I'm with that. They're saying HODL that long term. Like a lot of people who are into the market, yeah, stacking Bitcoin. You might sell some. Who knows? If it goes high enough, you might liquidate it. Get some land or something, whatever. Get a house, whatever. But, we're really playing these altcoins because we understand if Bitcoin goes up by 300%, altcoins are going up by 3,000%. Some of these little small cap meme coins, they're going up thousands of percent. Right? And this is why, it's important to understand how to deal with these DeFi protocols, because you can't get some of these altcoins that are really low market cap that have that 1,000x potential unless, you know how to deal with a decentralized wallet and or exchange. So Skybridge Capital founder Anthony Scaramucci has advised Bitcoin investors to act like they are dead with their coins. Do not sell them. Don't do anything with it, he recommends, emphasizing the dead people at Charles Schwab do far better than the living people. So, hold your coins, man, and don't hold them on any exchanges, because we know when things really start to happen, when things really start to move and pop and shake and bake, Coinbase is going to be telling you, oh, we're sorry, the servers are down. So, that's why you have to, know different ways that you can maneuver. And there are several different ways that you can maneuver. If you go to the Odysee, my Odysee page, I have some how-to tutorials, show you how to do different trades, how to load up different prepaid cards that you can use your cryptocurrency with. I'll show you how to do a collateral deposition to borrow against your assets, all kind of different things that don't require centralized authority or permission, and that you won't have to worry about Coinbase playing their games and, stopping you from doing what you do. There's that. There's one more story I want to show you real quick. That's JP Morgan. So JP Morgan, of course, as we know, JP Morgan's been a big hater. Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan has been a big hater. He said that crypto is only for criminals and frauds and fraudulent activity. There's really no use case. There's no intrinsic value to it. Blah, blah. We forgot that they found $2 billion worth of cocaine on a ship that was owned by JP Morgan Chase. We forgot about that. But also JP Morgan, along with Bank of America, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, basically the big boys in the banking industry in America, accused of reaping millions in illicit profits by rigging interest rates on municipal bonds. So they basically ripped off a couple cities, and now they had to settle for $70 million in a widespread fraud and collusion case. The whistleblower identified the lawsuit as Edelweiss Fund LLC. Says the firm has paid $70 million to settle the lawsuit. Edelweiss accused the group of Wall Street firms of widespread fraud and collusion after the state of Illinois hired them to market municipal bonds known as variable rate demand obligations at the lowest possible interest rates. But the VERDOs are tax-exempt bonds issued by municipalities to get long-term financing, usually about 20, 30 years. But instead of marketing the bonds at a low interest rate, the banks allegedly inflated the rates. So they're moving illegally, right? This is what banks do, to generate millions of dollars in fees and discourage investors from converting the debt securities to cash. With the settlement finalized and executed, the state of Illinois is set to receive $33.6 million, while Edelweiss principal Johann Rosenberg will receive $14.4 million as a reward for bringing the lawsuit on behalf of the government. The remaining $22 million. So, here's what you have to keep in mind, you guys, because everybody's excited because these big millionaires and the financial institutions, they're getting to the market, it's raising the market cap, it's meaning the value of our holdings are going up. That's one thing. And we could debate whether that's really overall good or bad for crypto. I would say it's probably mostly bad. But remember, when they tell you different things, you don't believe what they're saying. If they're telling you to buy something, it's for a reason. If they're telling you don't buy something, it's for a reason. Like when Mark Cuban was telling everybody that Dogecoin is going to go to $1 and become a stable coin, neither one of those things happened. Only one of them could have happened, and it could have went to $1. Dogecoin can never be a stable coin. If he doesn't know that, then he shouldn't even be giving any kind of advice or making any predictions. But if he does know that, he was gaslighting. So you got to be careful. It's better to get your information yourself or from crypto people rather than these billionaires, because they always have an end game for what they're doing, and it's not to benefit you. These banks have never operated in a way to benefit the regular normal guy. They might benefit their board holders, their large shareholders themselves. They don't do it for us to make money. Elon Musk doesn't say things about certain coins because he wants you to make money. He does it because he's trying to make money. They can give a damn about us. This Bitcoin was supposed to be a revolution. It's supposed to be a movement for the people to be able to leverage with technology what we lacked in wealth, to be able to have a peer-to-peer, decentralized, no single point of authority way to transact and hold our money. Just remember that. Stay true to the game, man. Blockchain, crypto game. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, comment, let me know what you think. Hit me up at CryptTalkPodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or any stories that you think I should be covering. Blockchain Crypto Gang on Facebook as well, and you can follow on Twitter at CryptTalkP. Peace.